Hey beautifuls, Hannah here, Life Purpose Queen. How are you? And guess what? There's still time to get in for our Activate Your Archangel Frequency. There is some high vibe flying stuff going on around in that group, and we're just like, and as I said, like I said this to these guys as well, like on the intro, on the welcome live stream, I'm like, this is a really high frequency. It's a very different frequency. It's a lot of light. When we're in a lot of light, a lot of darkness can come up. And like last night I was like, woke up, well, I don't know, I think I was like almost asleep by 11:30, and then I was just like fever, like all last night, like just like from like 11:30 till 2, just laying in my bed, like fevering it up. Hey Aaron, hey guys. So I'm curious how you guys are feeling. So I'm feeling like I had my jumper on before, and then before I even started live stream, I'm like, right, getting hot already. So this like hot cold thing and flying around. So it's like this fever, like on fire, burning on fire. So how are you guys feeling? Tell me. We've got only a couple of days as well before our full moon, and I wanted to talk about this Friday the 13th. Yeah, this full moon was actually falling on, not in Australia, it's on the 14th in Australia, Australian time zone. I don't know where my accent's coming from this evening. So who knows the truth behind Friday the 13th? Tell me. The truth behind Friday the 13th. Do you guys know? Everyone is all like, it's all like a taboo topic. It's scary. Hey, Ange. Hey, Matthew. There's a part of me that feels like, oh, you shouldn't be telling them that you're like got fever and stuff. But this is as real as they come. My daughter had it on, what is it? What's today? Wednesday. She had it kind of hit her Sunday night. And she's like, I don't want to get you sick, Mum. And I'm like, nah, you won't. It's all good. And then last night, it was like, woof. But I know that we're in the Archangels, and last night was Archangel Raphael, which is the healer archangel. So it was no surprise to me that came up for me, burning all this stuff out. Okay, that's not gonna let me share it again. Let me just do it on here. All right, so tell me, guys, does anyone know the truth behind Friday 13th? But that's okay, because that's what I'm here to share with you guys. And I want to talk about the crows, yeah? Yeah, there's a lot of people that have got it at the moment, apparently. So that's so interesting. I haven't been sick for a long time. I don't get sick for very long. I'm quite conscious of what that's bringing up in me as well. Oops, hang on. Just going to share this, and then I will be present with you guys. Oh, there it is. Sweet. Right there. Yay. Okay, cool. Present. All right. So, and that's the thing, like, with a fever, I'm all good with it because I know it's burning stuff out of our system. You know, I know people kind of take stuff to bring the fever down, and obviously you need to trust yourself about that. But, hey, Sean. Yeah, just like it's burning the stuff out, right? Okay. So, I want to talk about Friday the 13th. And look, I'm just looking for so this is the moon card, Follow the Moon. So this is out of the Messenger Oracle Guidebook. This is by Raven Folane. I don't know how to pronounce her name properly. Not really good at pronouncing names, if you guys noticed. This is kind of bad, isn't it? Oh, it's funny. Okay, so I'm just looking. I probably should have done this before I jumped on live, but the crow and the raven, because I notice, again, I'm like noticing these patterns, right? We just had the Amazon fires, and then on the Sunshine Coast here, there was massive fires. Oh, it's so frustrating because, I don't know, I just got to say it, like I was driving back from Brisbane on Friday, and, you know, like driving along, and they have the big billboard signs, and, you know, and they've got like electronic ones here, and they like flash. I mean, they've probably got them all around the world, but, you know, like they, you know, can change different words on there and, you know, traffic reports or whatever. And all the way back from Brisbane, so it was like an hour drive from where I live. And it was just like every sign, it was like high risk fire danger, high risk fire danger, high risk. I was just like, and that was Friday. And then 2 days later, there's like massive fires through the coast and everyone's getting evacuated and homes lost. I'm like, really? Like, you know what I mean? And it was so interesting because apparently they were like arson attacks, like, you know, kids, teenagers, 12-year-olds or something. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, you know, so interesting, right? They're like broadcasting it over the highway. Like everyone who's driving on the highway is like fire, 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 fire. What's going into the collective? Fire, 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 right? And Tenterfield is so, yeah, everywhere. And I'm like, man, they're just like broadcasting it everywhere. Like on Friday, like I was literally driving home and then there's just like this fire stuff everywhere. And I'm like, guys, you know, it's like, because everyone's like thinking that. So it's going up into the collector field, onto the grid. And then it's like coming down and like the kids are just, you know, muck around with fire. It's like, yeah. Right. Anyway, I'm sure that one day everyone will get it. And maybe one day we'll start broadcasting different things on the big signs and actually putting more supportive things like rain, all the rain, imagine all the rain. Like, imagine if it was just like, imagine rain. It's like, you know, imagine what would happen then, you know? Like, in Australia here, we're going through a big drought, and it's so interesting because, you know, I don't know, I was getting the feeling, I don't know, it was so weird. I almost posted on Facebook yesterday and I was getting the feeling that I was like, there's going to be a lot of rain soon. And then my logical mind is like kicking in going, actually, nah, Hannah, like, you know, like there's kind of no way that could happen. Do you know what I mean? But I'm like, it's going to be a lot of rain, like so much rain that it's going to flood, you know? And I'm like, whatever. It's like, who knows? Yeah. But it's just so interesting, about that. Okay. Let's talk about, so I just needed to voice that. I needed to voice that because I think I was just so pissed off because then everyone's talking about it on social media and I didn't really play into that either. I just, you know, put a post up saying the beautiful Sunshine Coast, like, let's focus. And I understand that a lot of people are going through a lot of trauma and stuff with it. And it's like, you know, they talk about the big great awakening and how, you know, for years they've been saying that a lot of people are going to get wiped out on the planet. And it makes me wonder, well, is this, you know, like part of the wipeout? You know, it's like, there's like, I don't know, there's diseases breaking out in countries and I mean, there's stuff like that going on all the time, but it's just like, how much more amplified is this going to get? And it's probably not the right question to be asking, but, you know, like, sometimes it takes a crisis for a community to come together. Yeah. Oh, you've been getting that message too about the flooding rain. It's so interesting, right? Because I'm like, I was originally getting the message that it's going to be a really hot summer, like it's going to be really hot. But then probably in the last week to 10 days, I'm just like, there's going to be a fuckload of rain soon. Like, it's going to be a lot of rain that there will be flooding. So that's so interesting that you're getting that message too. So very interesting. All right. Let's look at this. Okay, so let's talk about the truth behind, hey Cassie, the truth behind Friday the 13th and the triple goddess. Yeah, this is so very interesting because there's like, on the Gregorian calendar, there's 12 months. Yeah, everybody knows that. There's actually 13 moons in a year. And so 13 months technically, and that's why in August last year we had 2 new moons or 2 dark moons in 1 month. Yeah. So the whole Friday the 13th thing is like a bit, you know, 13 is like a bad number and it's like black magic and, you know, and it's literally that. It's Friday the 13th is the goddess number. 13 is a goddess number. Yeah, and like they changed to the Gregorian calendar to wipe out the 13, to wipe out, you know, the goddess, to wipe out that aspect of it and made it all taboo. Now, when we look at that combined with the raven, which is somewhere in here, this is what I was talking about so the crows and ravens, so I haven't really noticed them yesterday when I went for a walk. Like, they were just like, rah, like just so loud. Like, I was walking along for ages in my own little world, and then I was just like, when you really hear it, and I heard it, and I was just like, wow, there's so many crows, and they're so loud. I almost put it on my story, and there was like all these like turkeys in the bush and everything. But okay, crows, let's stick on the topic of crows. I've noticed that crows, ravens are very, I don't know, and it's just interesting, right? There's a part of me that almost wants to do an animal shamanistic journey, I don't know if you guys, like, I don't know, give me some love hearts or give me a yes if that's something that you'd want to do. It's just kind of been calling me, right? As I'm looking through the shaman, the druid animal deck here, the crows. And it's so interesting because I'm like, is it just me? But I know other people, I know the crows speak to them too. Like, there's certain periods of times where the crows are like so loud, like for days, they're just so loud. Like, I remember one time they were like flying over my house, like making their presence known, right? And yeah, okay, you guys want some animal shamanistic, let's do some animal stuff. Not today, but like, yeah, it's just been like coming through, especially with the crows yesterday as well. And then someone posted about the crows in my Life Purpose Mentorship, and I'm like, I've been meaning to do a live stream on the crows, and it just seems like it goes through into this, like, okay, so crows for me represent, yeah, they're talking to you, still have them all around, yeah. So the crows for me represent like portals, and I just noticed that they're like, like when we have these waves of energy coming to the planet, and I've just been, meaning to check is it the Schumann's resonance or whatever. I was just curious about that because the past few days, so many of us have been feeling really tired. And so the crows signify the end of a portal. Like, we go through these waves of energy, and it feels like it's just before, like, crows symbolize death and rebirth ultimately, yeah. So it's a death rebirth. So whenever there's crows making their presence known, it's like this the end, yeah. It's the end of a portal and coming into a new beginning. It's the end of this space and coming into a new doorway, like a death rebirth, yeah. I thought I had the website there somewhere. So, I'm gonna look at crows in here. So, and it's interesting because crows, again, are seen as bad, black magic, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like that taboo stuff is not being so taboo anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's becoming more normal. But crows also signify, for me personally, this is just what I'm, intuitively feeling about crows, is number one, the portals. They turn up around the different portal times, and if you notice that, you'll be kind of going through a portal in your own life, lots of like releasing, lots of new beginnings, but also when we look at it from a collective energetic space, it's usually after the end of a big wave of whatever energy comes in, right? Yeah, thank goodness for that. So remember when I bought my course, the voice message, I know the crows were so loud, Cassie. It was just like, rah! You've always got crows around you, yeah. Lots around your house today, of course there is. My shaman friend said the exact same things. They turn up when you're walking through a portal transition. Yeah, like it's so strong, right? It just feels like it's really, really strong in, leaving one life, stepping into another, but yeah, also like so your own life, but then also on a collective, like you'll notice it probably more now. And obviously the crows are magic. So number one, for me personally, what I've noticed, the crows are also messengers, like in the olden days, back eras ago, eons ago even, is that crows would be they'd fly the scrolls, yeah? Same with doves as well. And, like the crows would be the messengers. And so for me personally, crows have a lot of wisdom. I don't know if it's wisdom, but they've seen a lot. So in the crow, raven, collective, family, generational lineage, energetic grids, if you want to call it, like put a label on it, of what crows signify, is a lot of information, a lot of messages, a lot of messengers, that are coming through the crows. So whenever you sense crows and ravens around, is really tapping into, you know, what portal am I walking through? What portal is the collective walking through? What messages am I needing to receive? What messages am I needing to take notice of, right? So Crow, so this is the Animal Spirit Guide book. You're on the verge of manifesting something you've been working toward for a while. Be very watchful over the next couple of days for any clear omens or signs that will guide you and teach you. Expect a big change very soon. You're probably going through a big change. You've noticed something that's out of balance or an injustice that hasn't been addressed, and it's important to speak up about it. You're about to get a glimpse into some future events that affects you directly. So it's so very interesting. And then the Raven, because it's got Raven in here too. If I know my ABCs. Hang on, it's right here. There it is. Okay, Raven. Raven, magic is in the air, and something special is about to happen. Pay attention to dreams and visions, especially colourful. Sorry, I just want to say, so when it says like magic is in the air and something special is about to happen, it feels, you know, it's like when we end the portal, like we've walked through a portal, so we're leaving one world and stepping into a new world. Magic, new beginnings, something special. Pay attention to dreams and visions, especially colourful and powerful ones, as these are indicative of prophecy. In any undertaking or relationship, be very clear as to what your intentions are, because whatever they are is what's going to manifest. You're gradually shape-shifting into a more confident, powerful, and spiritually based you that will continue to emerge the more you let go of your old self. You'll observe an increasing number of synchronistic events over the next few days. So just notice these, appreciate them, and don't try and figure them out. And it's kind of interesting, right? So when it says here, in any undertaking or relationship, be very clear as to what your intentions are, because whatever they are is what you will manifest. Now, this has also been tapping me on the shoulder, and I feel like I'm like, all this stuff's flowing through me again. And I feel like, and I said it in a post, I don't know, last week or week before or something. It's like mindset. Like I did not get where I am today without mindset, yeah? And journaling and affirmations and positive mindset. And people are like, oh, I tried that, didn't work. Or, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, feel like that message there around Crow, Raven, is about being really clear on your intentions. So this, like, we can kind of go into a situation and we're like, yeah, it's this, and you know, and then we wonder why it doesn't kind of work out. And it's like, well, if we haven't been setting really clear intentions and staying focused on them, you know, it's all good to set intentions, but if we don't stay focused on them, then it's not gonna, you know, it's kind of loses its power, if you may. So that kind of, you know, like focus, like walking through one portal into another, walking through one reality into another reality. It's like that. You know, be clear about your intentions because they will manifest. Be clear about your mindset. Be clear about what you're thinking about all the time. And I feel like as our world is awakening and, you know, increasing in people's consciousnesses are awakening, and more, this is becoming more and more norm for a lot of people, that with that, it's a collective power of realizing the power of our thoughts that create feelings that create our reality. And a lot of people give up too soon. Yeah, a lot of people give up too soon. A lot of people don't stick it out for the hard yards and don't actually allow yourself to go through the initiations that are the portal from one world to the next, right? When we talk about the initiation, that card, it's in the other deck. The initiation card is like literally walking through the cave and walking down the hard road. So I just want to read out of the Raven in here as well. So this is out of the Druid Animal Oracle. Yeah, the Raven. Because I love this deck. I've got it on my phone as well as this, and I just noticed that in the book, like this app is so in depth. I'm just having a look here. I'm just going to look at it on here because there's more information in the app than there is in the book. So this is, oh look, it even says that. So keywords are healing, initiation, and protection. The card shows a raven perched on a bare winter's branch of a beech tree that grows beside an ancient mound. This is the White Mount, which is buried at the head of the Bran the Blessed, on which later times will be raised the Tower of London. So it's so interesting, right? Bran offers, so Bran is the druid's name for the raven. Bran offers initiation, protection, and the gift of prophecy, yeah? And I feel like your intuitive abilities are really coming into, I don't know what the word is, peak maybe, like really starting to gain momentum when crows are around. What is meant by initiation in practice may be as formal as undergoing an initiation ceremony, or as informal as, for example, being initiated into the mysteries of a new post or profession. So that's the change and moving from one reality to a next, yeah? It marks the death of one thing, which gives birth to another. The power of the raven can also bring you the deepest form of healing, which is achieved through a process known as the resolution of opposites, giving you the possibility of resolving conflicts that have long lain buried in your unconscious or perhaps even your past. So it's so interesting because, you know, the raven's magic, black, subconscious, darkness, it's just unconscious, right? So it's so interesting, like it's got the full story in here about the ravens, about the crows, with this as well. It's really quite long, so I'm not going to read it all. But it says the raven has been seen such an oracle for thousands of years by the Druids. The early Irish Druids divined according to their flight and cries as late as 1694. It was reported that a Herefordshire, oh my goodness, my words pronunciation, raven uttered a prophecy 3 times. Yeah, it's so interesting, right? So interesting. The raven could travel to the darkest regions of the underworld to bring back visions and an oracular instructions for the seeker and healer. It's what I feel like, you know, like when there's crows and ravens around, the magic in the air, in a sense that, and you can feel it, can't you? Like when there's a lot of crows and ravens around, you can feel that the air has a different presence, yeah? It's like that. You know, when we're talking about moving from one portal to a next, I just feel like there's a different feeling to the air. Everybody has felt that, right? And in this card, in the Messenger Oracle, the Raven's card is actually trust in magic. Like that's the actual message on that card, and that's the whole thing. So magic is the mysterious and the coincidental. It is at the heart of those moments of synchronicity and knowing. It is woven into the awareness that there is more to life than what you can see. We know that, don't we? It is born of that moment when you step without fear, with a loving heart into the void, voice your desire, and have great spirit send his messengers to show you the way. Trust in magic, it is real and it surrounds you. And it just feels like there's that space of like when there are crows, when there are ravens, you know, like that, you literally are walking between worlds, yeah, and that veil is thin. And what just reminded me is like years ago when I stopped at the pine tree forest on the way home from Brisbane, and like it was dusk, and I remember screaming out like, I need help now, like changing my reality. It was like when it all started, to be honest. It was pretty intense, like, and actually like felt like the veils, like, you know, and there's something that around that dusk, like dusk and dawn is like that, you know, well it is, isn't it? Portal from night to day and day to night, like that's a portal change, yeah. And I'm really hearing like initiation, prophecy, and this full moon on Friday, well, it's Saturday for Australia, Friday for other time zones, actually holding the full moon ceremony online on Friday, so it'd be Thursday for you guys that are not in Australian time zone. And I just feel like, especially this full moon, like it's obviously we're coming up to equinox as well, so the week after is equinox, where the day night is the same length in time, and then we're switching seasons, but it feels like Friday the 13th, the big full moon, it's like a switch in world, like that's what it feels like. And it's so interesting because I got the intuitive message around July being the feminine full moon, August being the masculine full moon, and then this week is the divine balance where both masculine and feminine come together. So I'm really curious what comes through about that, but I just feel like it's probably why the switch in worlds. And a lot of you guys have been feeling that peace. Yeah, there is a lot of you guys I know that have been feeling the peace, even though there's a lot of chaos going on around. There's also a lot of just peace, like just, yeah. And it just feels like it's a shift in reality. And what I feel like has happened ever since kind of like March, April, May last year is like we've gone from being so out there, dominated, I don't know how to describe it, like it just feels like we've been so out there and now it's more in here or something. I don't know how to describe that, right? But it just feels like, and it's like we've got this sense of like self that is more conscious of our reality. And I mean, that would make sense on a collective level, more people waking up, blah, blah, blah. Like imagine where we're going to be in 5 years' time energetically if we've already shifted this much in what, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Like, do you know what I mean? That's pretty conceptual, like, yeah, well, we'll be in 5 years' time energetically on the planet, what will be going on, like, do you know what I mean? And again, this is it just drops in again around the mindset and creating our reality. Yeah, it just feels like it's so important. It's so imperative to like have your daily rituals, to set yourself up, to choose your energy and choose your vibration and take time and do those things that really connect you to your soul and have the mindset that supports the reality that you're trying to create. Because there's only so much healing work we can do, right? Yes, we need to do healing work around whatever we're feeling called to do. Like, we need to do that. But then there's also our mindset work. Like, there is absolutely no point to going and doing all this healing work and meditating and spiritual development if you are not as well working on your mindset. Like, there is just no point. That would be like going and having surgery and then not changing your diet or lifestyle or anything that caused that illness in the first place. Like, it would be pointless because your body's not going to be able to be supported in, like, do you know what I mean? Getting healthier. So when we're looking at creating our reality, there's lots of different components to actually creating a life that we really want to have, right? It's like coming into that sense of like, yes, we need to look after our physical health. Yes, health, physical health, and also our healing work, but also our mind, like they say like our mind, conscious mind is 10% and our subconscious is 90%. Now, apparently that's changed and it's about 30-70 now. Yeah. This is still very powerful. Yes, the behaviors like stick in and ingrain there, but there's also the thought patterns that also support the behaviors. Now, when we start doing this work and we start changing our thought patterns and we start changing our mindset, that's when these things go, like all these traumas or behavior patterns or whatever go, actually, no, like that's not how we do it, and if this is really strong, which it usually can be, we kind of like get defeated and we go, oh, it's not working, and we go back to our old thing, right? The mind is very powerful, but it's also very powerful in talking you out of things that your heart knows you need to do as well, right? There's whole like thing around, what is it? I don't feel like it. I didn't feel like doing a live stream this morning, so I didn't. Luckily, I've created a reality I can work when I want to work. But I was able to just chill out this morning and just lay in bed. If you see my story, I've had like 2 bad days, which is just awesome because I'm just like, oh, this is the life that I've created, to be able to just choose when I want to work and work how I want to work and work when I want to work and where I want to work. I've created this business where I can do anything I want, which is the freedom that I've always been creating and I have. But in this space, it's like I wouldn't be where I am today without the mindset to support it. Like, yes, done so much healing work over the years. Has that completely changed my reality? No, my reality is amplified into the reality that I want in the time that I've been doing the mindset consistently every day, like the healing work. It's both. Yeah. Give me some love hearts if you guys agree that mindset plays a big part in manifesting. Or comment on the live stream and just say, no, it has nothing to do with it, Hannah, if you don't believe so. And then comment and let me know, do you find it hard? Do you find it hard to do mindset and to stick with it? Like, do you stick with it for a little bit and then you cycle around and then you don't do it? Or is it hard, easy? Do you guys even do it? Let me know if you actually do it. Let me know if you do it. That's what I want to know, actually. Let me know if you guys do it. All right, and I'm going to pull a card for our live stream. Yes, lots of love hearts. Lots of yays. Yays, we agree that mindset is a big part of it, right? Big part of it. All right, so I'm pulling a card for the collective for this live stream. You do it and then you doubt yourself. Yeah. It's interesting, right? Look, it's the oak tree. So you do it and then you doubt yourself. What? That you can't, that you feel like you don't believe in that it'll happen, or you doubt yourself that you don't know how you can do it, or and then do you give up, or do you keep doing it? Find it hard at times, but trying to be more consistent. Yay. Yeah, find it hard to stick to mindset. Yes. Find it hard to stick to writing, but great at talking it in my head. Okay, awesome. And the most powerful ways are when we've got written, audio, and visual. Yeah, if you want to amplify it, all three of those. And then the other part is that, you know how some of us are writers, some of us are vloggers or video, some of us are auditory, right? It's important to find what works for you, because some people actually do really well with just the auditory affirmations. Some people thrive and do like great guns with written. Some people are awesome at just reading it and gaining the power that way. Like I said, if you want to amplify, do all three ways. But if you want to find your way and then stick with that. Because when you're trying to say write it, but writing's not really a thing, but you're like amazing auditory person, if you had affirmations, and the most powerful ones are when you audio record your own voice in the affirmation, so you could have heaps of written ones and like literally record them in your own voice. So like on the iPhones they've got like the voice memos, like it's easy to record like that. So that would be something I'd recommend. So Stephanie says, how can you heal from trauma? What's the steps? Sorry, I should have my phone on silent. Like things going off everywhere. How can you heal from trauma? What's the steps? It's like a big question. Everything in my Trust Intuition course is the steps to heal from trauma, from start to finish through module 1 to 5, over 100 videos, like step by step, like how to heal from trauma, because there's so many different types of trauma. Some of it's easy, some of it's not, depending on what's going on, depending on how long it's been there, depending on have you done any work on it before, do you have support around you, or do you only have online support? There's so many different facets of healing trauma on different levels, depending on what it is, depending on, do you know what I mean? There's so many facets there. So I don't know if you've seen my Trust Your Intuition course, but that is specifically designed for that. And it's Trust Your Intuition to teach you how to trust intuition and not be confused by, or getting influenced or affected by other people's thoughts, feelings, words they say to you or anything like that. When, and the point, and I say, well, that's like how you heal trauma in that course. It's like, because as I was saying, we've got 30% conscious, 70% subconscious, right? 10%, 90%, whatever, something like that ratio. The subconscious is where like all the behavioral patterns are, everything that's unconscious sits in there, traumas, it all sits in our subconscious, right? And when we've got an aura and an energy body that is full of all these traumas from childhood, from past life, from carrying other people's energy that we don't even know we're carrying, and all this sort of stuff, that's clogging up our energy field. So if we're tired, if we're exhausted, or if we've got all these health symptoms, or, you know, it's like, what is in our aura that is not ours, that we're carrying, or trauma surfacing, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, what is going on there? And when we've got all these, what I call bricks, sitting in our aura, we're not going to be very clear. We're going to get confused. We're going to take on other people's energy, because these are like bricks are heavy, right? Bricks are heavy. They're a heavy vibration. They're heavy, dense energy. And that dense energy attracts more dense energy. And the other part about having these bricks in your aura is that your intuition's not that clear. And so we are going to doubt ourselves, and we are going to have all these, you know, issues and stuff going on, and repetitive patterns and all of that. So when we can look at these bricks in our aura and actually work to shift out the bricks, shift out the trauma, like whatever word you want to call them, which is what I teach in Trust Intuition. Not only can you trust the intuition, but your vibration gets lighter and you get clearer in your intuition without all these bricks influencing and having a perception about your reality because of the bricks that are sitting in there. Does that make sense? So let me know if that makes sense, yeah? It's a way to describe it. So, yeah. Okay, so Kylie says, doubt myself that it will happen, although this week I'm getting goosebumps every time I'm mentally talking to myself. Awesome. I'm working hard on stopping the self-doubt. A list of my self-doubt was giving me my power, was me giving my power away to others and listening to their negativity. Yes. When we cave into other people's thoughts, like, you know, someone says something about us and we're like, oh, I won't do that then. They've won. They have won, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Awesome. So they've won. Now, something about that as well. So if you're getting stuck, an awesome thing that I like to do is like a purge, and do a purge journal. And so it kind of be like, all the ways that I doubt myself are or this is how I doubt myself, or when I feel like I'm moving forward, then this happens, and, you know, and actually like purge out all the negative stuff, like literally write it down, like with the intention to clear, purge, like write it all out, yeah, and then just throw that piece of paper in the bin, or you can safely burn it, or throw it in a bin, bury it in the ground, whatever. But what is most important here, yeah, is so crucial, is to rewrite that. So however many, like you've written the purge, is so important to write the positive, but then writing the positive over and over. So you could have like 20 or 30 new positive thoughts around believing in yourself, around trusting yourself, around how your energy is strengthening so that you don't get affected by people's thoughts, and my energy is becoming stronger, and I'm clearer in my energy, my intuition is more stronger each and every single day. You know, I'm clearer in my energy, my thoughts are clear, I have more energy, I'm waking up with more energy, like those sorts of things, right? Become strengthen your intuition, strengthen yourself, trusting yourself, like write those out, right? Minimum 20 or 30. And then those 20 or 30, you want to write every day for like 30 days. Like, and this is where I don't think a lot of people do that sort of a depth of mindset work, and it's so important, because when you think about those purging, the ones you purged out, right, those have been ingrained for how long, right? Plus the bricks that they're attached to in your aura, perhaps, right? It's like those beliefs and those thoughts have been there for a long time. So if you just purge it out on a piece of paper and think you're done, it's kind of like they can creep back in, yeah? It's like when we've got one sort of belief, there's like a core belief, and then there's like a tree, a tree that goes up of all the supporting beliefs about that core belief, right? And so when we do a purge and we write all this stuff out, we throw that in the bin, it's so important to write a new belief, but write 20 or 30 supporting beliefs about the positive stuff, and then to write this out write this out for 20 or 30 days, the same ones over and over. You might tweak them a little bit over those 30 days, but that's like a crucial element. Like if you're not doing that in trying to change your reality, that's where a lot of people get stuck. They're like, oh, this doesn't work, you know, and it's like that element of writing that out every single day is that your brain becomes so full of these new positive ones that it can't find and can't remember those ones. Does that make sense? So it's so important to add this crucial part in, right? And you could do that with anything, self-doubt. You could do that with beliefs about yourself or about any topic. Do you know what I mean? Beliefs about money, beliefs about relationship, like whatever you want to do. Like catch yourself. Like if you find that you are tripping up on the same sort of pattern or there's something going on that keeps happening in your life, it's like when you can catch that, purge it out. Like purging is awesome. And over those 30 days that you're writing out these good ones, there might be days in there that you might need to do another purge of, you know, because it might be starting to surface again because you're rewriting this. So those deeper, darker ones coming up to the surface and going, well, hang on a sec, this is really different, right? And so it's like, as this comes up, you might need to just purge this out today and then throw that out, and then you write the good ones again, you keep going, yeah? Okay, so Tabitha says, can I ask, I have my 14 I write every day. One is, I accept myself at any size, weight or shape, but it feels not shifting as I know deep down I'm not going to accept it. Please, how could I reword? Okay, I am noticing that every day I'm coming into more acceptance of who I am, no matter what size, shape or weight, yeah? If you get stuck, because when I say I accept, it's like, well, no, you don't, right? Your subconscious is like, you don't accept yourself, right? It's strong, yeah? And you can hear the back chatter, yeah? If you're quiet and you actually take notice of the back chatter, that's like your key turning points. Whenever you're starting to move into something more, a key crucial point is always like, and things that I do when I'm like moving into a new reality that's really not something that, you know, is all foreign to me, but I know that's where I want to move to. All brand new, never done it before. I'm noticing that every day I'm becoming more comfortable in, I'm noticing every day that I'm accepting more and more parts of myself. I'm noticing that I'm starting to more and more, yeah? And it's like, because your subconscious can't fight that. It's like I'm starting to, every day I'm noticing that more and more I'm accepting myself more and more. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, oh yeah, I can't really fight it because I'm noticing that I'm starting to accept myself. And it's like, and this subconscious, like, it's like, but when you say I accept myself, subconscious like, no you don't, right? So let me know if that helps. All right, let me read this this oak tree. The oak is what came out. So let's have a look here. Okay, interesting. Okay. Fertility and sexuality, strength and stability, grounding and endurance, ancient knowledge, doors and thresholds, boundaries. Who's listening on the live stream and needs to hear boundaries? I don't know how to pronounce it. The Dura oak initiates the 7th lunation and includes the celebration of Beltane. The sacred marriage is enacted now. Yay, it feels better. Awesome. Yeah, it's such a subtle change, isn't it? The words are so powerful. They either block or free us. That's why mindset training is so important, right? Okay, the sacred marriage is enacted now between the community's representation of the great goddess and Cernunnos, which ensures fertility for another season. This is the holiday of sexuality and sensuality and represents a threshold which the maiden aspect of the goddess becomes the mother. Talk about initiations, talk about from one cycle to another, talk about from death to rebirth, talk about like, hello. So I guess I'm curious because I'm like, what are we shifting into? We are changing seasons right now, yeah? So we're going from winter to spring and from summer to autumn around the world. Where are we? So we celebrate the blood mysteries and the young woman's first menarche. We celebrate fertility and the magic of the green earth that sustains us. This is a time of conception and the beginning of new life and returning of the sun. This tree offers strength, stamina, and is a symbol for generation. The ogre for this tree is Dura, I don't know how to pronounce that, and the letter D. So the Druids, they have like different names for everything that we have. So it says oak is also indication of fertility, whether you are conceiving a child, project, business, or other creative endeavor. Oak celebrates sensuality and sexuality and the sacred act of creation. It's so interesting, right? So hang on. It says this tree also promises you knowledge, information, guidance, and wisdom. Expect synchronicities. What have we been talking about with the crows? Situations, people, dreams, and books may appear for your benefit and growth. Doors are opening up for you and thresholds are meant to be crossed. This is a time to feel strong and secure as you build toward the manifestation of your dreams. Oak's very, I don't know, when I think of oak, I think of a crow as well. I don't know, they seem to go hand in hand, right? So interesting. Oak gifts you with strength, endurance, stamina, and grounded stability. Who has been feeling that sense of peace and grounded stability? It feels like we've shifted into like, oh, got this now. Yeah, you need to be more self-disciplined. Yeah, and that's a practice. Yeah, it is a practice. And the more we do it, the more we remember how it makes us feel good, and we continue to do it. Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm going to jump off. So there is still time to get in for our Archangel, activate your Archangel frequency. Let me put the link in the comments. We have started, but you can catch up. We are on day 3 already, so a little bit excited to keep going through the Archangels and Archangel Maris. Pretty exciting. Yeah, and you've been feeling that stability too. It's very noticeable difference, isn't it? Very, very significant, very noticeable. All right, so I've just popped the link in the comments. There is the Activate Your Archangel frequency. There's lots of us in there. We're all like feeling that vibration, and it's so amazing what's been happening for people already manifesting things and deeply coming into that frequency, as well as shifting out what is not that frequency, which, like, you know, the fever, I'm just like, oh, that makes total sense. It was no surprise to me, to be honest. Yeah, you're so welcome, Kylie. Yeah, I feel better already. It's such a shift, isn't it? Like, it's subtle, simple, and very, very noticeable. So I love that. You had that. Awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Remember, if you think this can help somebody, please share it on their page or share it in a private message to them. Tag their name in the comments. You can share it on your page if you think it will help somebody you know. Or you can, remember, if you're watching on YouTube, you can also like and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. Love you guys heaps. See you soon. Namaste.